That's good. I'll come back to that. Okay, we have it. All right. So, past life regression. I am the creator of soul regression therapy, which is a process of past life regression. And that's why this is called Soul Regression Therapy Webinar. And obviously this is a group session. So a little bit about me, if you're not familiar with who I am. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a spiritual regression therapist, which means I also see people for past life regression. And I've been practicing for about 20 years. I'm also a trainer and an author. We have our own training courses, and I've written a book on past life regression. There's two very different sides to my clinic, to my hypnotherapy work. I see clients for clinical hypnotherapy, issues like stop smoking, weight loss, fears, phobias, alcohol, all that sort of thing. And I love the work that I do with clinical, but I also am very passionate about the spiritual side to my business, which is spiritual regression. And like I said before, these sessions are called soul regression therapy. Those photographs there are of me in training when we were running some training courses in Melbourne, which we stopped doing when the COVID came, and all our courses are online now. So as a therapist, I understand that no matter who we are, we all have a soul story to share that's deep inside of us. And through my work, I've witnessed thousands of stories of sadness, trauma, and grief. And I find that my clients' past lives to be really fascinating, because they can often connect to traumas and problems in the current life and help to resolve them on different levels. So I've archived and written and recorded my own past life regressions since the very first session that I ever did. And we wrote that into a book. We've got lots of case studies in our book. I'll go into that in a little bit further along. But as we move into the golden age that was foreseen by the ancients, we are indeed in a transition to the dawning of the age of Aquarius, where the earth and humanity are experiencing a vital shift of energy from the third to the fifth dimensional frequency. So I firmly believe that humans are moving into a new cycle, a cycle of evolutionary growth from the age of Pisces and into a phase of limitless potential. So the more we awaken, the more we're aware and conscious to our personal contribution in this shift of consciousness energy, the greater the possibilities will emerge for positive change on the planet Earth. Now, we are here to stretch ourselves beyond our previous limits and lifetimes, and we're here to inspire others to do the same. So that's what my purpose is, to inspire others and to help them to heal and move beyond previous limits that they've had. Now, so one way I do that is through past life regression and also life between life sessions. So I'll just talk a little bit about what is a past life regression. Some people are new, they come to this and they don't really understand what it's all about. So it is actually a therapeutic technique in which the client is urged to go back, to imagine, visualize going back in time beyond their birth and to remember a former lifetime. Now they usually, I guide them through a hypnotic state in order to do this. Now during the session, the client's able to retrieve memories of previous lives, and this recall of memory can be achieved, like I said, by the process of hypnosis. However, some processes use meditation techniques. So there are other methods, but I find that hypnosis is probably the most powerful way to take people back to remember their past lives. So past life regression aims to resolve and heal any unconscious survival-based soul scripts that could be negatively affecting the present quality of life, health, and behaviors. And it can help to uncover patterns, soul agreements, or deathbed decisions that no longer serve and are detrimental to the current life. And they keep people stuck in negative patterns. And there's many people stuck So some of those patterns can be revenge, death before dishonor, or submission to authority. Heart commitments like I'll always love you, or you're the only one for me, or I'm yours forever. And if a past life was one of a healer, spiritual, or in religious service, you may have taken vows of poverty, chastity, obedience, silence, or secrecy, or vows that prevented you from personally benefiting from healing energy. And if you've made a deathbed decision that, you know, your partner was the only one for you, well, the chances are you'll be lonely in following lives, future lives, because that person, that soul may not reincarnate with you, if at all. So often we recreate similar experiences unconsciously in this life as an attempt to complete or heal, or an unresolved past life experience. A past life can help you to be aware of these unconscious decisions or vows so you can resolve them. That's the whole idea, is to resolve them so they no longer affect you and you move on. You've healed the karma. So the following is a list that may help to identify patterns or connections of possible past lives. Now, maybe you have a peculiar allergy or a health issue that doesn't seem to be environmental, but just occurs in times of stress. Maybe you're drawn to look of the feel and look of another era, such as England's King Arthur, the medieval, or ancient Egypt and the pharaohs, or ancient Greece. Maybe you're frightened of something for which there's no obvious or rational basis, like snakes, spiders, storms, drowning, burning, or being poisoned. And if you have, you could have passed away or been terrible thing happened in a past life. So are you sometimes surprised at your own appearance when you look in a mirror, or you look, you don't feel at home in your body? Are there certain people to whom you feel drawn to? Maybe you've visited another country or a place and felt like you've arrived home after being away, but it felt familiar to you. So if you agreed with 3 or more of those, you can be assured that you're not living your first lifetime. And you can do your own detective work by investigating your home, your interests, your hobbies, and just note any themes or repeating events that keep coming up in your life. And they may be indicators to a connection to a past life that you've lived and that maybe needs to be resolved. So really, what is reincarnation? Because past life regression is looking at a past life, a lifetime that we've lived before. So in order to be reborn in those different lifetimes, it's called reincarnation. It's the theory that man's consciousness or soul survives death and returns to be reborn in a different physical body and life. And the purpose of that is for us to learn and to grow and to evolve. It is the belief that for the soul to truly evolve, the soul must experience many lives in various races and social classes. And this creates a balancing out process, which in turn generates compassion, acceptance of ourselves and all souls. So that's the ultimate where we're heading for. And it's important to understand that the purpose of karma is not to punish us or each other, but to learn from life situations and to be responsible for what we do. And as we learn, that we then give our soul the opportunity to live in harmony with each other and the universe. And if you think about it, one single lifetime is equivalent only to one scene in a play. So that's interesting. So the between life sessions, now they're an advanced session that I do facilitate with people. Often they've come for a past life regression first, and then they want to go on. And this is a deeper level, as the focus is to move through a past life and the death in that life, and then to continue to the between life realms. Now, this is the place we all go to after death, where we can reconnect and communicate with our spirit guides and loved ones who have passed over. Now, the realm is the realm where we can learn many things about our soul purpose. And it's also, let me just go back. No, I didn't miss a bit. So the between life is particularly helpful to people who are terminally ill and need to lessen their fear of death. They may wish to resolve relationships with those living in spirit, and especially the unborn, or they may want to discover or review their life purpose, to address a variety of intense decisions and vows and oaths and agreements and covenants, judgments that currently hinder present life health, wealth, achievement, intuition, leadership, power, and relationships. So the benefits of a LBL are that you experience yourself firsthand as a spiritual being, giving you another perspective on the world and life. Now, that picture there on the screen is my husband, John, being regressed by Dee. And that was when we were in Carolina, South Carolina, I think it was. We were at Kill Devil Hills and we attended her training course, and we were there as training assistants for the week, and it was a fabulous experience. So the LBL, the process requires entering a deep trance state, although the client is always fully aware through the entire session. And the session can take up to 3 to 4 hours, and they're recorded. But before being guided to a between-life regression, it's highly recommended that people first have a successful past life regression. So let me just talk a little bit about hypnosis and hypnotherapy, because I do find that today a lot of people don't understand what it really is. Even though hypnosis has been around for a long time and it's in the media, there's lots of books written about it, people can be still not sure about it. So if you have never experienced hypnosis before, it's good to really understand what it is before you actually experience hypnosis. It is actually a brainwave cycle, would you believe, or a relaxed, focused state of concentration. Hypnosis enables this relaxed state whereby the memory is enhanced and the limits and constraints of the logical conscious mind can be bypassed. And in this state, it's easier to call up images, symbols, and past memories, just like we do when we're dreaming, when we're sleeping. We can access that same part of the mind. Now, it's not sleep. Other than being very relaxed, people remain aware and conscious of what's going on around them, and while also being able to focus on inner images and feelings more completely. And for those who meditate, it feels similar to a meditative state, but it is a very different way to go into that hypnotic state than meditation. So you're taken into it by the hypnotherapist. Now, you don't give up control. In fact, it's an interactive experience, and you give feedback and remain in control of the session at all times. So although the therapist can give you positive suggestions to help you in your normal conscious life, and for example, when hypnosis is used to stop smoking for someone who wants to change a habit, no one can program you to do something that goes against your desires or beliefs. So hypnotherapy is simply being in this state of hypnosis while receiving therapy. And there are many forms of therapy that hypnotherapists can use to help the client. Now, the stage show hypnotist, who has people acting like chickens or Marilyn Monroe or being Elvis on stage, they use volunteers who already have a streak of exhibitionism in them. And if the stage hypnotist chooses subjects carefully, which they do, they have willing participants. So a hypnotist cannot make you do anything that violates your moral code or values. And if that were possible, then all the hypnotists in the world could make you rob a bank and bring all the money back to us. And unfortunately, that doesn't happen. So we'd all be rich and rule the world, but that's not the case. So how does the mind work? So when we all have 4 states of consciousness that the mind moves through, the full wide awake state is called beta and is not hypnosis. Okay, the alpha state of hypnosis involves a light medium level. Everyone goes into this state when watching television, reading, or on a computer or mobile phone. And the alpha is the light state and used for meditation. And this state is used for behavior modification. When the person's in a hypnotic state, we can help them to change their habits and so forth. The theta state now is a deep state That's the deep state that we go into before sleep. That's right. The delta state is this sleep state. So we all enter the theta state as we go to sleep at night. But when you're guided by a hypnotherapist, the area of the superconscious mind can be accessed. And that's where your past life memories are stored. Now, the delta state is the final deep state of sleep. And we all go through these states in the natural process of sleep every night, which is then reversed when we wake. However, the hypnotherapist can take you through those states because most people don't know how to go through those states themselves. So the part of the mind, the conscious mind, we all have this part, and but this is one part. The mind has three parts to it: conscious, superconscious, and subconscious and superconscious. Your conscious mind is only 10% of your mind, and is the part that thinks and analyzes and contains your short-term memory only. However, the conscious mind is limited, and the most important conscious mind power is the power to decide. And it has the power to decide what information will enter into your subconscious mind. The conscious is the critical thinking, it's the problem solving, reasoning, and evaluating. Now, the conscious mind also has the power to reprogram the subconscious mind, mainly through repetition. For instance, can you remember the first time you learned to drive a car, when you had to consciously think of all the things you were doing, pressing the pedal, changing the gear, all of that? You no longer consciously think of these things now, these actions, because it's been put into your subconscious now. It's a habit. So once it's a habit, it's no longer just conscious. So you have become automatic. You are able to do it subconsciously. Through repetition, you program your subconscious mind and you created a habit. And once a habit is in the subconscious, like I said, it becomes automatic and very difficult to remove. And while it's true for driving, it's also true for achieving success in your life. If you believe you can succeed and achieve, well, then that will become a part of your subconscious and it will go about helping you to achieve what you want. So your subconscious mind is much bigger than your conscious mind. It's around 90% of the mind. And this part of the mind is like a computer and it plays many different roles in your life. Now, the subconscious mind is concerned with your emotions, your imagination, and your long-term memory. And this part of the mind also governs your autonomic nervous system, which means it basically runs your body automatically. It controls your organs and how you breathe, and it sends oxygen to your blood cells, and it helps you to walk conscious without being conscious of to walk. And this is also the part of the mind where your habits and addictions and fears and traumas are stored. So the internal mind or subconscious mind runs on autopilot, and it's not logical, but it can be compared to the hard drive on a computer. So this inner part of the mind is made up of lots of programs, and like a computer or like in your mobile phone, you have apps in there. And these programs or apps communicate to the outer logic mind through your thoughts and feelings. But like I said, once a program is installed in your computer mind, it runs automatically when there is a trigger. Like when you hop in the car, you automatically go to drive. Unless you decide you no longer need it, and then you can uninstall or delete it if you know how, like a bad habit. For example, a negative program running is in your subconscious is the habit of smoking. I mean, we all know that smoking kills people. I do see a lot of smokers over the years. So I work in the subconscious to help to remove that habit. So the superconscious, that's a very interesting part of the mind. The first two parts are within us, but the superconscious is basically external. It's a part we access when we're in a deep hypnotic state. It's the higher self, the soul mind, which is beyond the ego personalities. Now, your subconscious mind is linked to the superconscious and or universal mind, and is the portal to the realms, the spirit realms, and to your guides, and is responsible for helping you to learn your soul lessons. Now, the superconscious mind causes you dreams, brings you dreams, thoughts, visions, inspiration. And it speaks also through other people, you know, bringing in synchronicity, psychic abilities, divination experiences, and so on. However, if you do not learn the easy way, it will set up lessons of tough love to help you to learn what you need to learn. But it'll never give you more than you can handle. Even if you think you can't handle it, you can. But it is a completely unconditionally loving consciousness whose job is to help you to become that enlightened, aware being, an integrated spiritual master. So there's only one superconscious mind, the universal mind, to which all our minds are connected to, and infinite intelligence. And this is the part of the mind we access when we experience a spiritual regression session, a past life regression and a life between lives. So most people, you know, think, oh, what will I do? What will happen if I don't experience anything? You know, so don't panic. Most people wonder if regression will really work for them. But, you know, it's only on a rare occasion that people don't bring up a past life. Instead, a memory from early childhood may come up that is important for them to address. We may find a current life situation or anxieties intervene and need to be worked on before they can go back to a past life memory. And that works best. What works best is to approach the experience with an open mind and not to expect anything in particular to happen. For example, if you approach a regression just knowing that you're going to discover a lifetime when you were someone famous, well, this might get in the way of what really will come up, because most people don't go back to a famous life. So over the years, I've regressed many people and have been regressed myself by some of the best hypnotherapists in Australia and around the world. So each time I was regressed, I felt like I was making it up. Most people think that. And almost every time I've regressed clients, they tell me the same thing. They think they're making it up. Yet I have verified many of my past lives, and so have my clients, which is amazing when they do. So what I saw in hypnosis was real, although I had no possible way of knowing at that time. So many of the clients I've regressed have let me know of their verification and the therapeutic results of knowing their past lives. So when it's time for you to experience the past life impressions, just trust whatever thoughts or images, visualizations, knowings come to you. That's the best way to go about it. So most people like myself perceive these impressions like an imagined fantasy, just like you'll imagine a directed visualization of a garden or a beach scene. And many people expect that they're going to see their past life vividly in great detail. And this isn't always the case, especially when experiencing your first regression. And a few people, including the best subjects I've ever worked with, simply perceive an awareness without visualizing. Although some clients find that they see things in their mind's eye quite clearly, others may find that the impression's somewhat vague, with only portions coming in clearly. So information comes through a number of ways. Physical sensations, you may feel hot, cold, or uncomfortable, or hearing what people say around you and just knowing something intuitively all of a sudden. So the best approach is to focus on the thoughts, images, and feelings that you experience. So don't worry about whether it makes sense or is it real or not. Just use your imagination and trust whatever comes up at the time, because you can always analyze it all at the end of the session. Typically, people who have a regular meditation or relaxation practice can move most quickly into a past life regression experience. And this shows that regression is actually a skill that can be learned. So it's helpful if you have a specific question or issue that you would like to explore when you have a session. But it can also be left open to your inner guidance to bring up a memory that is relevant for your current life for you to know about. So let me flick that on. Okay, so that's just about the end of that presentation. I am available for sessions on the Gold Coast here in my clinic. I also do a lot of Zoom sessions for international clients and interstate around Australia. So those are that's all my details there. And those photographs there of me regressing people, or that lady in Melbourne. And the other lady was when we went to India. We went to India twice. We went to Mumbai and Delhi, and we attended a past life regression conferences that used to be held over there. And we ran a couple of workshops, which was really fascinating. We had an amazing time with our Indian colleagues. So that's our book. You can learn more by reading our book, Soul Regression Therapy. It's available on Amazon. Most online book dealers have it on there on the internet, and you can buy the hard copy, or you can read that on a Kindle or an electronic device. So let's just leave it there. Okay, good. Back again. So I know, Gina, you've been through that before, but Brandy hasn't. So hopefully she's understanding a little bit more about that. Now, before we go on, I'm just wondering if you have any questions. Did you have a question, Brandy? Can you hear me? Did you have a question?
No, ma'am, I don't. I don't.
No?
No, I understood everything.
Oh, that's great. I'm pleased. And what about you, Gina? You're good? Yes.
I'm good.
All right. So what we're going to do is dive in and do the session now, or to do the regression. Okay. So if you would like to get yourselves comfortable, you're going to need, just before we start, just think about something that you want to achieve by going back to a past life. Maybe something in your current life that you need to know about, maybe something that's been coming up in your life in any area that may connect you to a past life. This is only a light level of hypnosis that we're going to use, but we don't need to be in a deep state to access past lives. So just think about something that you want to achieve, and then just get yourself comfortable now, because you're going to need to close your eyes. So it's best if you can rest your head on a pillow or on the back of your chair. And because sometimes when people go into hypnosis, their heads flop down. Make sure no one's going to come up and talk to you or disturb you, because it's like you're going to have a little nap, and you don't want someone to come in and disturb you, not a pet or a phone. Make sure your phone's turned off. Okay, so if you get yourself comfortable in that position, and just, that's right. And once you get in that position, you want to stay in that position until we come out of it for the best results. So what I would like you to do now, your head's resting there. So I want you to use your eyes and just to look up at the ceiling, wherever you're sitting, doesn't matter where you are, but just looking up at the ceiling, where the wall and the ceiling meet, and to roll your eyes up to that spot. And as you just gaze at that spot, just focus on that spot, and just start by taking a nice big breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, gently out through your mouth, just allow your eyelids to close. Just allow those eyelids to close over. That's it. And as they close over, that's it. Just feel your eyelids relaxing, all the muscles and fibers in and around those eyelids to relax. And as your eyelids begin to relax, just give yourself permission to relax them. The face can relax, the cheeks, the jaw, the neck, the scalp. Just feel that relaxation beginning to flow through you. And as you listen to my voice, I'm just listening to the sound of the words that I'm using. Now, maybe you're noticing other sounds. You may be aware of sounds around you, in the building, in the room. You may be aware of sounds outside. and the sound of my voice as it rises, falls, and changes. And these sounds can all help you to relax a little deeper. So using just your imagination now, I wonder if you'd like to imagine that you're standing in a room with a big blackboard at the end of the room, just like one from school or from training. And as you're looking at the blackboard in your mind's eye, I wonder if you could imagine that you're being drawn towards it, just drifting across that room until you're right up next to that blackboard, close enough to reach out. And imagine you're holding a pen or a piece of chalk, because I'm going to ask you to draw a huge circle on that blackboard, a great big circle, using up the whole board, going around all the way back to the start point, to the bottom. And I wonder if you'd like to use that circle to slow down your body a little more. I wonder if you can trace the outline of that circle with your breathing, just like you traced it with the chalk or the pen, so that the next time you feel the need to breathe in, just imagine you're rising up one side of the circle to the top. And then as you breathe out, just imagine sliding all the way down to the bottom, to the other side. Now you know how to do that. So just continue going around that circle several more times with your breathing. And with each revolution of the circle, just allow yourself to deliberately breathe more and more slowly as you go around the outline of the circle. That's it. Just rising up one side to the top and then safely sliding all the way down to the other side, back to the bottom. And as you're making that movement in your mind, I wonder if it feels like your head is actually making that circular motion. I wonder if it feels like your whole body is going around and around that circle. That's right. In your imagination, just let yourself slowly and gently follow the outline of the circle. And with every revolution, I wonder if it feels as if you're spiraling down, but safely down into your own mind with every revolution of that circle. That's it. Allow your breathing to become slower and slower. It's such a soothing, relaxing sensation. The more times you go around that circle, the heavier the body feels, the heavier the legs feel, the heavier those arms feel, the heavier the head feels resting on the back of the chair, feeling that weight in your body, sinking lower and lower, deeper and deeper into the chair, knowing that the more times you breathe around that circle, the more the mind descends deeper and deeper, but knowing the deeper you go, the lower you go, and the more insights your mind can bring to you. So notice how your body's feeling. Comfortably relaxed, the feet, the ankles, the legs, as relaxation flows through the body, just turning off all the muscles as it travels up into the ankles, the legs, the hips, the thighs, but knowing this is the power of your subconscious mind, turning off all sensations, just as it can create sensations, as relaxation flows into the stomach and the chest, just noticing your heart beating at just the right rate, and those lungs inflating and deflating at just the right pace as it flows up relaxation into the shoulders, flowing down those arms, the elbows, the fingers, as relaxation flows through you. So as you continue to relax more and more, I wonder now if you could imagine a stairway leading down. And that stairway could look like anything you wish. It may be a stairway you're familiar with, or it may be created from your imagination. And there are 10 steps to the deepest levels, and feeling so curious. So as you step onto the 10th step going downward, you might find it interesting how easy it is to allow yourself to go deeper into relaxation. Deeper, more comfortable, that's right. Going to the next step, 9. Doubling that level again at 8. Deeper and deeper at 7. Finding it so curious just how deeply relaxed you can allow yourself to go at 5, 4. But knowing only you can allow yourself to relax so well, 3. Deeper still, 2. And I'm wondering if you'll go deeper into relaxation than you've ever experienced, 2, and at 1. And as you take the final step down, just find yourself in a room that's very pleasant and safe. That's it. As you find yourself in this pleasant room, it feels very calming and relaxing to be in this room. Being in this room helps you to relax more and more. That's right. And as you relax more and more now, with every breath you take, yes, I want you to imagine or sense or feel that you're leaving this room now in your imagination. And imagine that you're just drifting and floating above, drifting and floating up into the sky. Imagine or feel like you're floating up and up towards a fluffy white cloud. Imagine that you're sitting on a safe, fluffy white cloud. Notice what would that feel like to sit on a cloud. Now you don't have to worry because it'll hold your weight just like magic. And you could lie back on that cloud. It's very comfortable. And just let it absorb all of your weight. You can become one with this safe, comfortable cloud. You could even wrap it around you like a warm, soft blanket. It's such a comfortable feeling, as though you don't even have a body. And the cloud is floating through the air, and it's carrying you with it. And the cloud drifts over the earth. Yes, over the land, over the oceans. It's drifting higher and higher. It's carrying you with it around the world, floating over various countries, places. As you float around and around the world, just feel or see how many countries draw you, attract you. Now, it doesn't matter if you've physically been to these places or not. You may have seen these places in a movie or read about them in a magazine. But in your imagination, you found yourself going there. So do that now. Drift on down, drifting down. Yes, drifting on the cloud to visit places, countries, regions around the earth that attract you or draw you in some way in particular. Finding yourself drawn to countries or areas that have some kind of charge, where you may have a feeling that you need to go back there, or that something is unfinished, perhaps with someone you know in your current life. It may not be very distinct at first, but you feel an attachment there. You may even feel uncomfortable with some countries. So notice that this is an indication that something needs to be seen there, or there's someone you need to connect with. So as you continue to float and drift, notice a particular country or place that you keep feeling more and more strongly drawn to, more than all the others. And when you've identified a country that has particular strong charge for you, don't analyze or edit, just allow it to draw you in. Let it draw you to it. Feel yourself going to that country, gently floating off the cloud and coming down to the earth, down to the surface. It's safe because you're taking the protection of the cloud with you. You're safe, you're comfortable going back and back in time and space. Find yourself drifting into another lifetime, in another body, in this particular country that has such an attraction for you, to a past lifetime where you're connected to a happening, or a connection to your current issue, or a special person. And as you come back down to the earth, drifting down, safely down, look down towards your feet and just sense your feet on the ground. Just notice what you're wearing. Maybe you have bare feet. Maybe you have shoes or boots or sandals. Don't edit or discount the information. Just go with your imagination. Just be aware of your feet and mentally record what you sense or feel or see. And notice the rest of your body. What clothing do you wear? Perhaps you can feel the texture of the fabrics. Is it familiar to you? Or some kind of unusual fabrics? Are you wearing elaborate clothing or simple clothing? Are you aware of a large body or being in a small body? You may notice how old you are. Are you young or an older person? You may notice your gender. Are you male, female? And are you carrying anything in your hands or over your shoulders? What does it feel like to be who you are? Notice, make a note of who you are. Where are you? Do you see grass or soil or desert sand? Are you standing, sitting or lying down? Is it light or dark around you? What kind of place are you in? Inside, outside? Become aware of your surroundings. Look around if you can. What are you experiencing? What are you feeling? Maybe you're involved with people. And if you are, who are they? Are they strangers? Are they familiar? How do you feel towards other people if they are there? Or are you alone in this place? Perhaps there's dwellings or houses or buildings. Just take in the whole scene, but be aware of what's happening, whether you understand it or not. Notice your thoughts, your reactions. Just spend a little time seeing what you see. Do you move towards someone or something? Or are you engaged in some particular way? Are you retreating, moving away Or are you reflecting or engaged in some physical activity? But whatever the scene is, bring it to full consciousness. Notice your reactions, feelings, thoughts. Just feel the mood of this place and make a mental note of what you see and feel. And if at all uncomfortable, you can float above it. You can detach from this and just watch it like you're looking down on a scene or watching a movie. But if not, be there, feel it, looking out through your eyes. And I want you to now just to begin to move forward in time, in this particular lifetime, remaining in this lifetime. You can do this directly. Go to another scene in this lifetime. As I count from 3 down to 1, just be there at number 1. Let's move forward now to a happy scene or a fulfilled scene, maybe with a person who is close to you, to a time and place where something good is happening in your lifetime. Or maybe it's a turning point in this lifetime. So, as I count now, 3, moving to a different scene, 2, staying in this lifetime, going there now, 2, and at 1, and just be there. Just take a moment to be there in this scene, in this place, looking out through your eyes. Where are you now? Feel your body. Notice what's going on around you. Are you older now? Are there people with you? Is there a celebration or an event maybe going on? Are you involved in anything? Or are you just watching it? Just bring it to your consciousness, to your awareness, to what is going on. Who is there? Or are you alone? How do you feel? Go deeply into this and notice. Do you recognize anyone? Tuning in more deeply if there are people there or a person. If there is a person, what's your relationship with this person? Does their energy feel familiar? Are they in your current life? Perhaps some deep inner feelings are coming up in you. What brings this about? What is getting to you so deeply? Connecting to the feelings. How do you feel? Happy, joy, or maybe something else. So spend a little time here. Go deep into the feelings. The feelings are the key. What is this story that you're living, this lifetime? Make a mental note. And notice your feelings. And if you listen closely, you may hear your own name being spoken. What do people call you? Who are you? Take it all in. Make a mental note to remember. Whatever you're receiving, hearing or feeling, sensing is important. Record it in your memory. And now, as I count from 3 down to 1, just move away, move from this scene to the end of your life. Like drifting above on a timeline into your future, to your death in this lifetime. And look briefly down and see how you died. And then go beyond your death. Don't stay in it. Just go beyond to where you're no longer in the body of that lifetime. But you'll know you've died, and you'll know that that is your body down there beneath you. That life is over. That's right, going there now. 3, going beyond your death in this lifetime, this particular lifetime. 2, floating out of the body and above that life, above your body, and at 1, just see briefly how you died. Look down. Were you alone, or was there anyone with you? Was there a special person with you at your death? Or maybe a special person in your life already passed over before you. Maybe you feel strong feelings at your death. Maybe there is physical or emotional pain, but know that the physical life is over. So pause here and reflect on that life, the things that happened, maybe people you encountered. Was there anything left uncompleted? What was the purpose for that lifetime? Does it connect in some way to the current life and your issue or struggle you're having in the current life? Just notice the life events tied together so that you could see the lifetime as a whole and understand deeply the connection to the current life and the people. See the 2 lives standing side by side, your current life and the past life you just experienced. Do you see anything that's similar? Do you see any patterns that's repeated? Maybe people whom you know now that you knew then. Just look at all the similarities and the patterns that connect these 2 lives together, because you've been shown that past life for a reason, to help you better understand your current life and your soul's journey. Really be honest with yourself as you reflect on these 2 lifetimes. Make a mental note. And if there were other people in that lifetime, you could just imagine, you could see them and let that love flow from yourself into everyone from that long ago past life, and maybe even other past lives. And send them love and bless them and let them and those lives fade. You can forgive anything that needs to be forgiven so that only love remains. You can even forgive yourself for whatever happened and whatever happened after any of that. So now you can carry these brief moments in this lifetime from the death and going beyond. You can bring these memories back as you slowly come back, bringing back the understandings and the connections, traveling back through time. You can bring back with you all that was positive and bright and interesting and important. Bring back memories into your consciousness, into the place where you're sitting in present day reality. And on the count of 5, you'll come back into your room where you are. You'll be fully awake. You've left the past in the past. You only brought it forward as a curiosity to learn from. In that way, it can help you to live your life, your current life, much better. But the past will not bother you in any way, mentally, physically, emotionally. You've learned what you needed to learn today because your current life is the one you're living now. So it is the most important life. So you remember any connections to special people, your thoughts, your feelings that came to you during this experience, and you'll be able to write them down. So we're beginning our journey back now at number 1, energy, muscle tone returns into your toes, up your legs, all the way up through your fingers, up to the top of your head. At 2, natural muscle tone returns through your body. Energy, vitality is returning to your body now. At 3, as your circulation returns to normal, breathing returns to normal, coming all the way back up. At 4, that's right, as I count all the way up. At 5, halfway, and you're looking forward to number 10 when your eyes will open. You feel bright and alert. At 6, eyes feeling refreshed now, behind your eyelids, clear and sparkling. At 7, coming back on up, feeling refreshed and energized. And at 8, returning to full wide awake, feeling balanced, centered in your physical body. At 9, maybe feeling like you've just awakened from a very restful sleep. And at 10, your eyes can open, you can be fully awake, thinking clearly, fully alert, awake, eyes open. That's the way. Very good. Awesome. All right. So just give yourself a moment. You look like you're both very deep into that. Yeah. So how did you go, Brandy?
I, I went to Italy, and I was a man.
You were able to do that?
I was able to do that. What's funny is there was nobody there. I remember seeing the brick on the ground, and I had black boots, black pants, and a black shirt with a rose in my mouth. And on the side there was like a stream or a little river. And when I went over passing my death, I just seen a weeping willow with a little headstone, which is funny is because I'm an only child by my mom. I wear a lot of black, and I was dreaming about rivers and water. So I found that very interesting.
Does it help in any way in your current life?
No, not really, but I was slim. I was real slim, so maybe when I came in, I said I'm gonna do something different. So I did find it very interesting.
So you may get more information. More information may come up when you sleep, dreaming, or when you're reflecting. Write it down. Write down what you experienced in a notebook, and then maybe reflect on how it connects to your current life.
Okay.
And have you done any therapy before? Have you had any type of therapy? No.
No, nothing.
So it's interesting then. It'll be interesting how you go. And you were able to get into the hypnosis, okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I took you both very deep because there's only the 2 of you in this group. So I really took you very deep, and because I thought you both have a good session. So it may be vague because obviously it's not the same when I do a group as to when I do a one-on-one, because I'm guiding you when it's one-on-one. I'm asking you to tell me what's happening and where you are and how you feel.
Right.
We're gathering the details of the story So I'm really helping there a lot to help to trigger those impressions to come out more. But when it's a group, obviously I don't do that. So, but, you know, I've had people do group sessions where it's so helped them and changed their lives a lot. So, but it's your first time, so that's good. You were able to get into that. That's a good indicator. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a loner too, and so I was alone,
You
and
were
I've never seen anybody. Yeah, I've always been a loner. My husband's kind of like that too, so we kind of work well together.
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm pleased that you were able to do that, Brandy. That's good. So if you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So how did you go, Gina? How did you get any information that you wanted from this?
This time, it was kind of like really like scary for me because I had a hard time visualizing, and I didn't see any people. That's the weird thing. It was like I keep seeing ponytail, like it keeps showing like the back of my head, like ponytail, and I like try to change the scene, but it would just keep coming the ponytail. And I think I was a small girl, and I was like in a kind of place like I keep seeing the ground muds, like red mud, like a crop field or somewhere, and I was climbing somewhere. But I didn't see any other people. I was the only one there. It's very weird for me. It's like very ancient. I think it's very ancient. Like it keeps showing me like the field, the red mud, very old places. But I don't know exactly where it is.
Does it connect in any way to your current life?
Uh, this time, no, because I think this is very far, far back. It was not. I think it's not a recent lifetime. That's why it can't connect with me now. And I keep seeing the last part I saw was the old machine, like a wheel, like some kind of wheel, like running. And I think in the feedback, I'm not sure if it's a train or something. I'm not sure if it's a train or something.
You're just getting glimpses of past memories of your life, yeah. And that often happens in a group. That group sessions can be difficult, you know. You have to because I'm not there to ask you to talk, to describe and so forth. So maybe down the track, if you wanted to have a session, I do, like I said before, I do Zoom sessions. If either of you want to have one, it's up to you. But the goal of the group is to help people to feel a little bit more comfortable with the process. And hopefully, you know, you get a little bit of information from it. You've both done very well that you both go into past lives. Having a proper, when I say a proper session with someone, or even go to someone in your area, would really, you do well, you go well. Okay. So do either of you have any questions before we move on? Anything you want to know? No?
I was gonna just say that I think I was about 35 in age, and I think I heard the name Jasper, and I was like, is it Jenny? Jenny? I just kept seeing the red bricks on the ground, but I was all by myself. So that's interesting that me and her both was by herself, and she kept seeing the red mud, and I kept seeing the red bricks. So I
Yeah.
thought that was very interesting.
Were you a male in that past life, were you, Jasper?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I was a man,
Ah.
and I remember I had a hat on. You know, like Italian, how they used to go out and do the little dances with the roses in their mouth. Real slim, nice looking man. So hey, that's good. Very
Yeah.
interesting though. I wasn't expecting that.
No, well, that's the whole idea of it, you see. You tune into something you don't expect. That's when you know
No,
it's real, because you didn't make that up, and why would you, you know?
yeah.
And
the
do you know how you died in that life?
I never seen it. I just remember going over a bridge. It almost looked like a European bridge, and then maybe in Ireland or somewhere, I don't know. But there was a big old weeping willow. And what's funny about that is when I was younger and I used to get mad, I would close my eyes and I would always see a weeping willow with a little cottage over on the side with the green grass. So I find that very interesting about the bridge looking like a European bridge. But I can always hear the water flowing. Through this whole thing, I heard the water. Once I come down out of the cloud and my feet hit the ground, I could immediately hear the water running. So, and there was like a little wall there.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting.
Yeah, well, you're definitely in the past life there, that's for sure. Yeah, well, maybe when you're a little girl and you imagine that scene, it was a scene from a past life.
Right.
Had, in this other lifetime. So, yeah, do some reading. Like I said, you can get our book. There's lots of other books, Brian Weiss. There's lots of other books available on this subject. It's just really fascinating once you start reading. I've done a lot of sessions where people have been able to verify their past lives, and it's really cool when you can do that. So hopefully I've helped you a bit more today with all of that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So before we go, I probably went through it before, but I'm just going to bring this up. If either of you are interested in learning past life regression, we have our online training course at the Hypnotherapy Learning Hub, so people can study in their own time, and it's all online. There's a little video there. And if you type in Hypnotherapy Learning Hub, you'll find our website. Talks more about who we are, and we have online courses. And the courses, we have a certificate in clinical hypnotherapy if you're wanting to learn how to do that. There's also, you can change it to where you live, Australian, America, wherever, Europe. So that's the Australian price there. Come up, I've just clicked it to that. So that's a certificate. There's the diploma, an advanced diploma, which also includes the certificate of past life regression and soul regression therapy. So if you're interested in learning more about it, these are great ways to go deeper. The certificate's great because you learn how to hypnotize people and learn more about past lives, and all the learning is online. There is a 4-day course, but we actually have a trainer that is in Phoenix, Arizona. You're both in America, and we have Sharma, who is in America, and she's running 4-day classroom training, and then the rest of the training is to be held online. I'll just go to her. The USA, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Bali, we have trainers. There's Sharma. So I'll click on her. I don't know if I can get that up there. And this is all about, I know I'm flicking through pretty quickly. So go on there and have a look. You'll find her if you're interested in that. And there she is. Now, Sharma, she's in Phoenix, Arizona, and she's running a course March and April. And she is a shaman. She's done a lot of training. She did our course quite a few years ago now in Melbourne. She used to live in Melbourne. And she's now one of our trainers. So she's just beautiful. And she's running this 4-day course in Reno. There you go. She's running it in Reno. I wasn't quite sure. I thought it was in Phoenix. So if you're interested in learning more, you get to practice, and you also get online training as well. And all her details are on our website here. So I'll leave it there if either of you are interested, or just to learn online. Okay, so we might just leave it there now. And I will probably be running another one of these in another month or so. You're welcome to come on it as many as you like. But it'll probably be a different day because we didn't have as many people turn up this time. I've had up to 10 people. So maybe this day isn't the best. So, all right, thanks for being part of it, both of you. And I wish you both a nice evening. It's evening where you are.
Thank you.
My day is just starting. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.